See if we are live. We are live. Good evening, everybody. We are going to start talking snow here in just a second when I get everything shared out on the good old social medias. Give everybody a chance to jump on. And we'll be answering your questions starting at about 9:20 or just a tick before. So stand by. If you are joining us, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what questions I can answer for you about the snow that's moving into the Bluegrass as we speak. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us from up in God's country, Harlan County. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope flooding wasn't too bad your way. I know it got pretty bad over in portions of Perry and Pike County. Once again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be talking snow here in just a second. Be sure to leave a comment in the chat on where you're joining us from tonight, and I'll try to let you know how much snow you can expect in your backyard as this next winter storm moves into the Bluegrass. We will get started here in about 60 seconds. So stand by. Yeah, my wife Amanda is not happy about the snow forecast. My students at the school today were thrilled about the snow forecast. It's definitely going to be cold, though. That is for sure. Let us know. Let us know what to expect. Miss Bush, thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, the snow's heading our way, unfortunately. The totals have actually dipped a little bit further south from my forecast update last night. All right, folks, we are coming up on 9:20, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome in. My name is Meteorologist Shane Smith. Thank you for joining us on both Facebook Live and YouTube as we talk about the incoming winter weather, and it is already showing up on the radar. You can see all that blue working its way across the state as we speak right now. And with that snow, we are going to see road conditions deteriorate quickly. We are going to see slick roads develop, and we're going to get a good old-fashioned winter wonderland going. So if you have questions about how much snow to expect, let us know. We're going to see if we can maybe find a few weather cams in the heaviest of the snow right now, show you what is going on with that. You can see a pretty decent line from Bowling Green back up to Owensboro. So I'm going to check and see how that is looking. Might pull up one or two cams from the Kentucky Mesonet if we can. Also, some of the snow may show up on the radar and not be falling in your backyard, and that's because we are dealing with some dry air here, both at the surface and in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So as this precipitation initially moves in, some of it may end up falling into dry air and evaporating. It's an effect we call virga. Thanks for joining us, Dawn and or Dwayne and Diane. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, I know a lot of folks are fed up with the snow, and I can't blame anybody. In fact, speaking of the snow, this is a live look from the Kentucky Mesonet site over in Warren County, northwest of Bowling Green. And yes, you can see that snow is sticking to the roads. It is sticking to the fields. It is falling right now across Western Kentucky. Back where I got my education at. Good old Western Kentucky University. Okay, folks, so here's the deal. We have a pretty potent winter storm moving into the Bluegrass right now. Pretty much right on time, maybe just a skosh ahead of schedule from where we thought last night, but not much. And this is a big storm system. Let me turn off some of these markers so we can just get a cleaner look at the radar. And you can see that the snow bands extend all the way from Bowling Green down to Nashville, back over towards Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, and that entire band is lifting off to the east. And we are going to see several hours of snow tonight, and at times it will be heavy, with snowfall rates approaching 1 inch per hour. Jen, thanks for joining us. Yeah, WKU already having snow-covered roads. Thank you for that report. It does get slick in Bowling Green quickly. I can tell you that from personal experience. But anybody dealing with the snow tonight can see that snow stick quickly. The roads are already cold. We've had cold air in place for a couple days now after the flooding. Most everything is going to stick, and it's going to stick quickly. And we're going to see several hours of snow tonight, and then more snow tomorrow as another little piece of energy dives in from the northwest. You can actually see that right now, back up towards Nebraska and the Dakotas, extending back up into Casper, Wyoming, Cheyenne, and the northeast corner of Colorado. So that little extra impulse of energy back off to the northwest of the main line, that's what moves in tomorrow night. So we're really going to get 2 waves of precipitation from this event before all is said and done. And as we said, the heaviest of snow is falling right now. Western Kentucky, there's some decent pockets of snow in Owensboro, Bowling Green, Hopkinsville, back over to Paducah, Mayfield, Murray, just across the border down in Clarksville, Tennessee. And it is going to continue to push east throughout the remainder of the evening and going into the overnight hours. Okay, so here's our current advisory map. Counties in purple, a winter weather advisory. Counties in pink, winter storm warning. What's the difference? Well, at least in Kentucky, winter storm warning is issued when 4 inches of snow or a 1/4 inch of ice is expected with a pretty high confidence level. Winter weather advisory, typically 1 to 3 inches of snow or around 1/10 of an inch of ice. So in this case, it's all snow. We don't have any freezing rain or sleet to worry about. So that does make the forecast a little bit easier than sometimes we normally have to deal with, because there is plenty of cold air in place from the surface all the way up through the atmosphere. So that's not a question this time. The question is going to be, how much snow do we see? And there still is a little bit of discrepancy about that. So there you see the snow over currently at Warren County. We can take a look at some of the other sites real quick. Let's see if anything's falling over in Pulaski County yet. Not seeing a whole lot just there yet. Simpson County. Oh yeah. Flat flying down over in Simpson County right now. So the snow is coming down at a good clip. And the modeling is doing a pretty good job with the forecast so far. So let's go ahead and start off. 10 o'clock East Coast time, 9 o'clock Central. Radar looking pretty good on the HRRR, looking pretty close to what we're seeing right now. And as we put it into motion, you're going to see as we go through the overnight tonight, the snow will continue to push eastward. You're going to see little pockets of embedded heavier bands of snow. That's where the darker blues are showing up. Where those bands set up, you may see snowfall rates approaching 1 inch per hour. The snow is over the entire state by around 1 a.m. in the morning. Big Sandy Valley, it may be showing up on the radar, but it may take an hour or two to saturate and get it down to the ground. But trust me, it will fall, and once it starts falling, it will be heavy at times. As we get into the morning commute times, 7 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. Central, the snow is wrapping up in far western Kentucky by that point. Paducah, Mayfield, you guys are probably going to be done with the snow. Some lingering snow showers in Bowling Green, E-Town, and Louisville. From I-75 points to the east, still going to be coming down at a pretty good clip during the morning commute. By lunchtime on the East Coast, 11 o'clock Central, except for the highest of elevations, the steady snow should be over. There may be some lingering snow showers and squalls, but the bulk of the action will be wrapped up by that point. But then as we go into tomorrow night and that northwest wind kicks in, we'll see a few more rounds of snow squalls develop, and that could put down an additional half inch or two as we go into Thursday morning. And I think the HRRR is actually underdoing the snow squalls a little bit. Let's see if they're showing up a little better on the North American mesoscale model. That tends to do a little bit of a better job with some of that upslope snow we see on a northwest wind. So we're going to let that load up real quick. And this is the latest run. This is just coming in. So this is actually the first time I see this model run. There's that initial band. Also, for our friends down in Tennessee, looks like for most of you folks, this is going to be a pretty good little hit of snow, too. Not quite as much as what we're going to see up here in Kentucky, but a couple inches definitely possible. Yeah, there's that band showing up a lot better on the NAM. The NAM does a much better job than the HRRR, picking up on some of that upslope snow. So that will likely drop some additional light accumulations, especially in the higher elevations of eastern Kentucky tomorrow night. How much snow could we see by the time all is said and done? Well, this is the latest run of the NAM. We'll go ahead and take a look at it since we got it pulled up. There we go. Around 7 inches in Paducah, 5 to 6 inches Bowling Green, Somerset, London, Pikeville. A little bit more in the higher elevations. Lexington getting around 4 inches. Louisville, 3.5, an inch or two up in Covington. Down in the Smokies, they may pick up a foot up on the higher elevations. So that is one model's take on how the event plays out. I've been talking all day with my students a little bit about the snow, as it's definitely a topic of interest to them. The European model has come down a little bit from where it was yesterday, under the other models a little bit, but the same overall general presentation of the snow. Lower totals along the Tennessee border and along northern Kentucky up near Covington and Cincinnati. Still some higher totals in Paducah and Pikeville. The GFS continues to be overall one on the higher side, and it's trying to fill in that band between western and eastern Kentucky right along the Highway 80 corridor with a good swath of 6 or 7 inches of snow. The HRRR, once again, has kind of that split band feature we've been seeing all day today. The Icon model is also picked up on that. I don't think that's going to be quite as exaggerated as what some of the models are showing, but there will definitely probably be some lower totals between I-65 and I-75. Last two runs of the NAM, pretty consistent. So overall, the modeling in pretty good agreement. We're going to see several inches of snow. Here's my forecast. So, some local spots, because I know there are a lot of folks watching around London and Corbin. London, I've got you in the 3 to 6 inch range. Corbin, you're on that line from 3 to 6 to 2 to 4 inches. So, we're probably looking at a 3 or 4 inch snow in Corbin. Williamsburg, 2 to 4 inches for you folks. Somerset, 3 to 6. Bowling Green, 3 to 6. E-Town in the 4 to 7. Danville, Richmond, Jackson, Sayersville, West Liberty in the 4 to 7. Richmond, Owensboro, 4 to 7. Paducah, I've got you in 5 to 8. Just to take into account for that modeling showing the heavier snow band tonight over in western Kentucky. And I've also put a little swath of 5 to 8 along the Virginia border in far eastern Kentucky. That's mainly in the higher elevations of Letcher, Harlan, and Pike counties, as we are going to see a little bit of that upslope snow tomorrow. Now, the one thing to note about this forecast, that is today through Thursday morning. So if you wake up tomorrow and you don't have 4 inches in London, don't freak out just yet. We will likely get a little bit more tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Curtis, I think you're here in London, aren't you? It's going to be about another hour or two before the snow really kicks off in earnest in London. We've got a little bit of dry air. Here at the surface, we're still fighting against, and just in the upper air above us. I think when that darker blue that's back just west of Somerset on the radar moves in, that should help saturate the column fast enough to get us that snow down to the ground. So we got some dry air in place right now. It's eating the snow as it's falling, because likely overhead, if you go up about 5,000 to 8,000 feet above London right now, it is most likely snowing. But that dry air is causing it to evaporate. So once we moisten up the atmosphere and we work that dry air on out of here, I think the snow should start falling between 10 and 11 next hour or two. Or didn't realize it's already 9:30. It is late already. So up in northern Kentucky, I think that's where the lower totals are going to be. I almost put a little swath of 1 to 2 up right in the Covington area, just because I do think it's going to be on the low side there. But I left the 2 to 4 for now. I think at least just south of Cincinnati should pick up around 2 inches, especially when you count this morning, because the forecast technically was today through Thursday. Up in along the Ohio River, they got a little sneaky snow this morning, which I mentioned last night. Contrary to popular belief, I do not control the weather. I just forecast it. Louisville, see Andrew Frechette watching. Good to see you. 3 to 6 inches for you folks, I think, is a good bet. Probably going to be on the lower side of that in Louisville Metro and just north of the river, over in southern Indiana. You get down to the southern end of Jefferson County, down along the Oldham County line, probably more along 4 or 5 inches, and then as you get closer to E-Town, should pick up somewhere around 5 or 6 inches is what I'm thinking. Once again, the big winners from this going to be out in far western Kentucky. I think from Owensboro over to Paducah should be a solid 5 to 8 inches. Notice, though, that is a range. Could easily be on the low end of that and get 5 inches. That's kind of the floor, putting a ceiling around 8 inches. I don't think we'll see many spots climb up over 7 or 8. May be surprised. If that was going to happen, I think there's a better chance of that in eastern Kentucky, over up on Black Mountain, Pine Mountain, up in the higher elevations of Pike, Harlan, and Letcher counties. Would not surprise me if maybe double digits fall up on the peaks of those mountains. But as far as like down in town, like at Whitesburg, Cumberland, Harlan, you're probably looking 4 to 6, maybe 7 inches on the high side of things. As far as impacts from the storm, Big concern, obviously, just going to be slick roadways. I think tomorrow morning's commute is just going to flat suck for most of the state. I don't think there's any other way to say that. I can say that on YouTube and Facebook. Can't say that on TV, but it's not going to be a fun morning commute across the Bluegrass on your Wednesday morning. I think the main roads, once the snow stops, they should be able to get those in decent shape in a couple hours. I think by the evening commute, a lot of the main roads will be okay until that second band moves in from the northwest. And then things could get slick again. And I think your secondary roads, your rural country roads, your side streets in the cities, those are going to be just a mess probably through about Thursday or Friday. The other thing we gotta mention with this storm system is the cold. We're talking highs tomorrow in the 20s, lows in the teens. On Thursday, lows in the lower teens, highs in the lower 20s. Wind chills could drop to near zero Thursday morning. Friday morning, air temperatures single digits, wind chills likely 10 degrees below zero. In fact, we do have a cold advisory that replaces the old wind chill advisories out from much of the state right now. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But that's for Friday morning, just because of dangerous cold wind chills. We should go above freezing for most of the state Saturday and Sunday, so that I think that'll help with melting. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday looking very mild. So I think we'll be able to melt a lot of that snow off, get most of the kids back into school by Monday. And I am not seeing winter weather in the forecast for next week. However, looks like another cold snap right around March 3rd if the new GFS is to be believed. We'll have to see about that, but I don't know if I believe that lows in the single digits in March, but that's something to see. That's something we'll keep a close eye on. That's out in voodoo land right now, so I don't believe that just yet. All right. So once again, to recap, snow is moving in. It is falling down at a pretty good clip right now in western Kentucky, from Bowling Green back up to Owensboro, west of Paducah. Folks in the Lake Cumberland region, hang in there. Probably within the next hour or two, I'd say by 11 o'clock, snow should start flying in earnest there. Lexington Metro, probably sometime around 11 o'clock to midnight. Northern Kentucky, it's going to be a little bit, and you're not going to see as much. This is going to mainly be an I-64 and south event. That's where the heaviest of the snow is going to fall. Do we have any questions? I'm not trying to make it cold. I'm just reporting what it says. I'm just the messenger. All right, so we'll throw the old snow forecast up there one more time just in case you hadn't got a chance to see it. Um, let's take it easy out there, folks. Most of the schools across the state are closing, so that's good. Kids don't have to be out and about. If you do have to be out and about, take it easy. Remember those winter weather driving tips. Leave extra distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. Probably want to drive well below the speed limit, and do not use your cruise control on ice. It's not a good combination. Just drive it manually. If you do start to spin, cut into it. Be gentle. If you overcorrect, you're going to send it around like turn 4 in Daytona. You don't want that. So just real easy corrections. Take it nice and easy. And don't be in a hurry if you got to go anywhere tomorrow. Plan plenty of extra time for your travels. But travel not advised tomorrow, especially during the morning and the late evening hours. Guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that follow button or the like button on Facebook. Likes and subscribes on YouTube are super helpful. You can find me on Facebook, Meteorologist Shane Smith. on YouTube, X, and Instagram, S Smith Weather, or Google search a meteorologist. Shane Smith will probably point you towards most of my pages. We are getting close to 400 subs on the YouTube channel and 1,200 followers on the Facebook page. So we are building up quite the little community of weather enthusiasts. And I appreciate all y'all taking time to hear what I have to say about the weather. I've had a lot of fun doing this the last couple of nights. Going to try to keep this going pretty regular even after the winter weather calms down. It'll be a little bit more sporadic, but I'll be popping in there with some updates. And as I'm figuring out some new ways to make graphics and stuff, testing those out. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Please stay safe out there. Stay warm. If you can, check out that post I posted earlier on my Facebook page with some of the ways you can help out the folks out in Eastern Kentucky who are recovering from the flooding. They're going to need all the help they can get, and this winter weather is the last thing we need. It's going to slow down the recovery efforts a bit. So just keep those folks in your thoughts and your prayers, and if you can help out, that would be awesome. So until next time, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay weather.